So, welcome Ronn Moss to my stream. You are now live on my stream for 1,700 viewers and mostly from Finland. Welcome.
Thank you, Jukka. It's good to be here. What time is it there at night for you?
This time here in Malta is 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. in Finland. So we are at three different places at one time. And you're in Los Angeles at the moment?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, how is the weather there?
It's absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful day. Was out by the pool watching the ducks. I have ducks in my pool.
Really?
Yeah.
They're your pets or they just live there in your general area?
They just come and go as they please.
They come and go, okay. All right. So, a little bit about tonight's stream. So we have actually talked a couple of days ago and get to know each other. And we talked a little bit about what we're going to talk today or tonight. So first, I'm probably going to go through a little bit of the past, which most of people know you as Ridge Forrester from The Bold and the Beautiful, and a little bit about that past. And then we're going to move on to the current stuff about your music career and acting career after the TV series. And then whatever you want to talk about.
Whatever, let's go.
Yeah. So
hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone. And for it, I thought about a little bit of the questions in the beginning, and I don't want to linger too much in the old. But I thought about this question. I think this is going to be a good one. So, in the first place, what got you into acting, and maybe how did you found out a possibility to act in The Bold and the Beautiful?
What got me into acting was, one, my love of movies, and two, was the suggestion by the guy that owned our record company. His name is Robert Stigwood. He was the guy who produced the Bee Gees and Saturday Night Fever and all that. And he took me aside and suggested I try acting. And this was in the middle or the beginning of my rock and roll stuff, where we were touring around the country and all. And that suggestion stuck with me. So several years later, when the group wasn't doing anything, the rock and roll group had done all its stuff and was not going anywhere, I went, maybe I'll try this acting thing that Robert suggested to me. So a couple years of going, because I had nothing but the music stuff. So I went from having something to having absolutely nothing. I had to work my way up in acting just like any other actor does. And it took, a few years of lean times.
So back in 1987, I believe it was the first episode of Bold and the Beautiful. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Filmed very close to my birthday, actually.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, and I finally got a call from the casting director that I had seen years before for this new daytime drama show called Bold and Beautiful on CBS. And I walked in and they were all smiling, very, very big smiles, which was unusual when you walked in as an actor to an audition. And they said they knew as soon as I walked in that was a part that was tailor-made for me.
Yeah. Did you actually meet the other cast back in the casting or at the first day of filming?
At the first day of filming, yes, we did.
Yeah.
But we had done some publicity before we started filming where I met everybody. There were 13 original people in the cast.
Yeah.
I only met after I found out that I got the part. I came back in and screen tested with a couple of other people who were going to be cast. And so I met them then. All
right. So
it was an interesting process, and I look back fondly on all of it, actually.
Yes, it's a long time ago. You stopped acting in 2012, so even that is a long time ago, over 10 years, almost 10 years.
Stopped acting in The Bold and the Beautiful. But
stopped acting The Bold and the Beautiful because you're still acting.
People think I just stopped everything.
Yeah,
I retired
yeah.
and gave it all up, and I don't know why they do, but probably because they haven't seen other things
Yeah.
I've done and all. But
Yeah.
it's all out there.
So we're gonna go into that, the current stuff, but a little bit more about the Bold and the Beautiful. People have been asking, for example, do you remember anything funny stories that happened during the show? Something we necessarily don't know about? Something, some fun story.
Nothing
Maybe when
fun
you-
during the show. We didn't have fun doing the show. We weren't allowed to have fun.
Are there any stories you could
You
share
laugh,
with us?
but we actually had a lot of fun when we would rehearse.
Yeah?
Because we'd have to get all that sort of fun stuff out of the way so we could
right.
do it seriously.
Yeah.
It was just a process that a lot of us went through on the show, or a couple of us.
Yeah.
And we would try to interject something fun, humorous during the show, and they would wound up either cutting it out or just saying, no, let's change it back to the way it was.
Oh, really?
Oh, come on. We can't have a little fun with it?
Yeah.
No. We have to keep it on the serious side. So it was a drama series, not a comedy. Anyway, it's just
Yeah,
one of those
yeah.
things. But
Yeah.
yes, there were several fun things over the years, too many to even mention. One I remember, I had a shower scene with Brooke where I'm getting out of the shower. So she has to come into the bathroom. I get out of the shower. I have the towel and all that. So I opened the door, and what had happened was our wardrobe person had a sense of humor. So usually she would put some Speedos or some underwear or something in my dressing room for me to wear during the shower scene. Well, this particular time she put I'll give you a little visual. It was like a dragon underwear, a dragon thing you put on, like a dragon
All right.
head thing.
Really? Yeah, okay.
That type of
Okay.
thing. Yeah. So to give you a little visual, so I put it on. And so when I opened the door and Brooke were rolling the cameras, I said, roll the cameras and let's see her reaction. So I opened the door and she just lost it. She lost it. Very funny. We did that a few times to her, actually. It became a running gag.
So you
See
did
what-
though. So you had those sort of inside jokes and gags to each
Yeah,
other.
of course.
Yeah.
So you have to
Yeah.
keep your sanity that way.
So is the day, the normal day, is an 8-hour long day or shorter, or how does it work? Do you work every day on the week, every 5 days a week? So how does the
Started
production
out
goes
working every
generally?
day.
Yeah.
In the beginning, for the first 7 years or so, we worked every day.
All right.
Not every day.
Yeah.
5 days a week.
Yeah.
We would do 5 shows in 5 days.
All right.
And as we went along, we'd do more shows over those 5 days. So
Yeah. So
got
was it? Do you feel it was a tight schedule or work as always?
no, it was pretty tight. There was not a lot of sitting around. Not a lot of sitting around.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like a movie. We have to move
Yeah.
fast. And because there were only 13 of us in the cast and maybe 5 of us that were carrying all the storylines, there was a lot of work, a lot of pages to get through. So there was very little really sitting around.
Actually, there's another question. When did you get the script? So did you have to rehearse it a week before or day before the filming?
I could only look at the script maybe the night before,
Really? Night
Yes.
before. Yeah.
maybe the night before.
So
and that's
not a lot of time to prepare yourself.
No.
Yeah.
No, not a lot of time. You have to do it very quickly because the work is exhausting. There's a lot of work involved. And it's not like just doing an hour's worth of work and then you have the rest of the day. No, it was very time consuming.
Yeah.
When I'd come home and have to try and look at that next script. And it was kind of exhausting because sometimes you're too tired to absorb anything. So I'd have to wait till the morning and rehearse before we did the scenes.
Yeah. Whenever you went to abroad, was that kind of a vacation also for the production crew, or what's the story behind that? Sometimes you went to have a vacation in Spain or somewhere else. So what's the story behind that?
We would take a small crew, sometimes a bigger crew, to Italy or Australia or somewhere in Europe. And it was a bit of a vacation, yes, but it was always intense, always intense.
Okay. So no getting drunk and having fun and then just having a hangover the next day.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, yeah. We would go out and have some fun.
Yep. All right.
It was a fun group of people. I miss them.
Are you in contact with the former cast or the current cast?
Now, no.
All right.
No, we very rarely. I would see Catherine, who played Brooke. I would see her sometimes in Europe. We would do things together. But that has gotten less and less because we're off doing our own lives and we have different projects. And
sure.
Yeah. So I'm sad I don't see them as much anymore.
Yeah. Can you tell me, in your opinion, what was the most memorable storyline as playing Ridge Forrester during the years? Because lots of things have happened. Some are crazy. Lots of marriages, lots of divorces. But do you remember something else, something that was really memorable for you, or intense?
I remember my wife Taylor dying. I think she died a couple of times on the show and came back. They couldn't get rid of her. And there was one storyline where my own daughter. This was very weird. My own daughter that I gave birth to in the mountain cabin wound up not being my daughter, wound up being my dad's daughter, right?
Yeah.
What an incestuous group we were. And so when she grew up, when this girl grew up, she had an infatuation with me.
Yeah.
What she thought was her dad, but then she found out I wasn't her biological dad, so she became infatuated with me. That was very strange. Too strange. She and I would come in every day and go, how are we going to make this work? This is impossible. I would just say, they're going to hate me. They're going to absolutely hate me. My character is done. If I show any interest in you, it's done. So I would play with her. I would, nuff up her hair and do different things, play little games and stuff. But we tried to make it work as much as we could, but it was very difficult.
Yep.
It was a struggle, and it was not fun. So we have a laugh about that after the fact.
Yeah. So you said that a lot of the characters you had dealings with. So this is the question for Ridge Forrester. Which one is it, Brooke or Taylor?
I have always come to the conclusion, why not both?
Okay, good answer.
As a guy, any guy is going to go, well, yeah, why not? Yeah. So for 25 years, I went back and forth between these two women. Was that really stupid? Was it really he was ping-ponging, he was a yo-yo back and forth, and he couldn't make up his mind? Or was he just having the best of both worlds? Who knows? Yeah. I know it's a sexist answer, but there we go. I fell in love on screen with both of those women, and they were both great to work with, so why not?
Yep.
There's my answer.
And it's not a bad answer. I'm reading my chat, and they're saying you're a boss, an alpha. So it's a good answer.
I love them both.
Yeah. They ask you a blonde or brunette, but I guess you kind of answered that question.
I just answered it.
Yeah.
Let's go with both.
So a little bit, we can maybe come back to if I see good questions from the chat to the old stuff, but more of the current stuff, or a little bit about your history actually, because you mentioned in the beginning that you have played in a band. I believe was called Player, or is called Player, in the 70s.
Right.
And that was something you are still into a lot. So can you tell a little bit about the history of the band and your music career?
That band started in way back in 1977.
Yeah.
I met two of my friends in that, and we auditioned for our record contract, which we got. And then I brought a drummer that I'd played with since I was 13 years old. We had played together, brought him into the group. That was the four. That was the core four of the group. And we toured around with Eric Clapton and Hart and Boz Scaggs and Gino Vanelli and Little River Band and a lot of different things. It was great tours because we were able to have our first song, Baby Come Back, become a big international...
It was a Billboard number Hot 100, I Googled. So it was a success. Yeah.
It's been one of those few songs that has withstood the test of time.
Yeah,
and it's been used for a lot of different things, a lot of different movies, commercials, but it was good. It allowed us to tour where most bands spend several years kind of building up to that. We were able to hit it hard. It was good. That band is no longer. I have now what I call Ronn Moss's player. It's kind of a offshoot of that now.
Yeah.
But I tour in Europe as Ronn Moss, so it makes it simpler that way.
Yeah, yeah.
And but those were great years.
Yeah. Did you play the bass back then, and now you're playing also guitar and singing?
Yeah, I sang and played bass in the band.
So yeah.
And now I play mostly guitar and sing with the European stuff I do and the US stuff as well.
So do you have a musical family? So if you talk a little bit about your childhood, what was your childhood like? Where did you live, and where did you go to school, and how did you get into music? I believe you have your first guitar or something like that.
I didn't have a musical family, but I love music. I grew up watching the surf music, the Beach Boys, the jazz groups of the time. Yeah. I grew up listening to a lot of classical music because my father produced classical theater. So I was able to go and see a lot of classical theater, a lot of classical acts and orchestras. So I grew up really loving all kinds of music. And when the Beatles hit, for me, I was age 11. That was it. I went, I want to do that. I actually wanted to become Ringo. So I asked my parents if I could get a set of drums. And because I built my own set of drums out of cardboard boxes. Yep. When I was before 11 years old. And they brought me the cheapest Japanese set we could get. And it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. But we'd play little gigs around our neighborhood. We'd play gigs, and I quickly got that into doing bigger gigs around town and stuff. Yeah. And we would play in bars, and I wasn't even old enough to be in those bars. But I was very tall back then. So the owner would go, okay, guys, just you play, no drinking, okay? No drinking, don't go to the bar. You guys just play. So we said, cool, we won't do it. We'll just play. So started me off. Yeah. So you a little bit mentioned a little bit about of the bands you listened to. Can you name, was it progressive? Did you like progressive rock? Because I listened a little bit of the old Player songs, and I kind of felt like there was a little bit of progressive style. Is that did you listen to like Pink Floyd or something like that? When I actually started my music career, there was no progressive rock. Okay. It didn't exist. Yeah. That came into maybe the early 70s, I think. Yeah. But yeah, we were fans of different groups. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Pink Floyd a bit. God, I can't even think of who it would be back then.
Yeah, yeah.
But I've enjoyed so many of those groups. Chris Squire of Yes, he was the bass player of Yes.
Yeah.
He was a good influence on me, for sure. Yes, the group Yes for me was a big influence. That Paul McCartney, of course, that wasn't progressive rock, but for bass players, Chris. I got to go to Australia to see Yes in concert with many of the original guys, and it was Chris was playing before he died.
Yeah.
I got to hang out with Keith Emerson for some motorcycle rides that we did, some charity motorcycle rides we did. Before he died too. That was really sad, very, very sad, because he's such an incredible musician. Keith Emerson, oh my God. These guys were Greg Lake, and they were big influences on me. So there's my progressive rock.
Well, I kind of heard something familiar in the song, so maybe it's in my mind, or maybe I got it right. People are asking what the hell is going on here, why you're on the screen. So Ronn Moss is my guest in the stream, so...
Why the hell
everyone.
am I on the screen?
Yeah, because in my stream, they don't expect to see
That's
maybe these famous people. Yeah, so we have been talking a little bit about Ronn's past history in the Bold and the Beautiful, and also his music career. But if we're going to the new stuff, so after you stopped acting in the TV series, what happened then? Back in 2012. So were you looking around to do, or were you glad to get out of the quite busy schedule, like you said, and pursue your musical career? And obviously your own production, because I think you make your own movies and acting them. Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit about after 2012, maybe to this point?
What actually happened, and one of the main reasons that I stopped doing Bold and Beautiful, was because my wife and I were involved in a car accident.
Really?
That kind of took its toll on us. It did a little damage to me and to her, but mostly to me. And it happened few weeks before I was to end my contract with Bold and Beautiful, and before I was going to have my last show.
Yeah.
And I had to decide, do I keep going with this, or is it time after 25 years to move on to other things? And that accident was very symbolic, and it really turned us around, not only physically, because we did a 180-degree turn after being hit. There's a lot of stuff involved. We were the center of a storm in this accident. And it made me go, I think this is a sign. I'm going to take it as a sign, because I need to move on to do some other things here in my life. And besides, hey, a little thing that most people don't know, that accident, when it happened, I had lost pretty much all the strength in my left arm because of the way I was hit on the side.
Yep.
And my head hit as well. We were hit. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. And I couldn't remember shit. I couldn't remember things. I realized that my memory was affected by what happened. And I realized I'm not going to be able to remember all that dialogue now. I'm having trouble remembering. The last few weeks that I was there, it was difficult.
Wow.
And I went, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to come out of this. How's this going to go? I can't keep going. So I pretty much had to make a decision. I think it's time to stop this, because I don't think I can keep going. So it was a big milestone and a big decision having to be made. So where I'm okay, I've got most of my strength back, and the memory is still kind of messed up, but there we go. You deal with it.
Well, I did not know about your accident. That's news for me. Yeah.
Most people, because I'm not one of those people to go, oh, poor me, and I did this, and I was hesitant to say anything. People on the show didn't even know. They didn't know about it. So I'm just one of those low key, just keep pushing ahead and try to blast through it type of people.
All right.
But that was hard to blast through.
But basically, I think you said in one interview that you can finally concentrate on the things you love to do. Not saying you didn't love acting in Bold and the Beautiful, but chasing your music career. I think that is something of a passion for you at the moment.
It is. Yeah. It is, and it was very much part of that decision to stop doing that one thing I'd done for 25 years, lived it, breathed it, in every way, and it was great. But it was now time to expand and do more music, which I wasn't able to do because of the schedule, and to start doing my own projects with movies, which we have been doing the last few years.
Yeah.
So the music stuff, I've been touring around Europe. I haven't had a chance to come to Finland yet to actually do the music, which I would look forward to if that opportunity comes. I've done a few concerts in Estonia, right across from Finland.
All right. Yeah.
And my Finnish friends would come over to Estonia on the ferry, on the big ferry boat, and see me there. My last time in Finland was your 100th day celebration of your independence.
Yes.
I came back from my concert to Estonia to Finland and hung out in Helsinki with some friends and was able to be there for that. So that was a very memorable thing to see Finland's celebration of being independent.
Yeah. Do you remember how many times have you visited Finland during the years?
I'm going to say maybe six or seven times. Yeah.
How did those visits?
Not that much.
Yeah.
Not that much, but I'm looking forward to the possibility of coming and doing some music. That's what I want to do.
So it was mostly, I wonder, did they ask you to come, like the news agencies, television channels, or how did you end up visiting Finland so many times?
Maybe 2/3 of those were people asking me to come for business stuff.
Yeah.
And the other third was coming and visiting a few friends that I have in Finland.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So actually, people are saying in the chat that they have seen you in Finland. Someone says saw you in an amusement park in 1991. Do you remember that?
Very possible. Very possible.
Yeah. A long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah. People are asking if I can ask you some questions in the chat also. They say they can interact. What do you think is the best, what was or is the best thing in Finland?
Oh, God. I have loved the weather, for one.
All right.
Other than the people are always very warm. Very warm. The Finns are always very accepting and very down to earth and real. I found them to be very real spirited people. So that's good because every place isn't like that. Some people are kind of closed off.
Okay.
Kind of, they're very aloof and all, but the Finns seem very well. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just because they know me from TV that I always have to consider that as a thing. I'm not just, but I have a pretty good sense about people's dispositions and all. So they feel real warm.
Yeah.
Real accepting. I usually go to Helsinki. That's my go-to place.
Yeah.
And I have a couple favorite restaurants there that we go, and my wine is actually there. I have this new wine from Italy. My wine is there.
Is it? Are you perhaps? No, that's not a wine glass. That's water.
This is actually what you mentioned before. Remember
What did
when
I
we
miss?
talked? You said you guys were going to be drinking vodka.
So you are drinking? Okay, okay. We are drinking actually rum at the moment. So this is our go-to drink.
Water,
Yeah.
water, vodka.
All right. All right.
Now, I have a friend in Helsinki who has a few restaurants. His name is Henry Allen, and he's a very, very dear friend.
Yeah.
We keep in touch with him. We've done a few. He's come here and stayed with us a few times, and Henry has a couple of restaurants in Helsinki that are excellent. I mean, amazing. He's one of those chefs that I think he had a TV show there too. He's an excellent food connoisseur and chef. He's very, very cool. But he's kind enough to order my wine from Italy, so he's my go-to if I want a glass of my own wine in Finland.
Can you tell a little bit about that wine? Did you say Primitivo?
It's a Primitivo.
Yeah.
I have a few different types of wine within my collection, but the top one, my go-to, is the Primitivo. It's a single grape. That's what Primitivo means.
Yeah.
It's a single grape. It's not a mix or a blend, and it's from a place called Manduria in southern Italy.
All right.
And I'm very, very proud of it. It's a very, very heavy, full-bodied wine. When I say heavy, it's 16%. If you know anything about wines, they're usually 12, 13, 14% at the most. This is 16. So it's a very, very full body, which I like. I like that. And we have another Primitivo, which is a lower price point Primitivo, and a white and a rosé, and we're about to have a sparkling and all that. So
all right.
It's all fun because it's been a passion of mine, having wine.
Yeah. So you own your own wine ranch in Italy? Or,
I don't
or
own
how does
the
it work?
wine ranch. I don't have the wine ranch. I have I know the people who own it. It's a small family-owned ranch, and we did about a year and a half of investigation to find them. So it's not like I'm just putting my name on that. No, we cultivated this particular thing from the ground up, and it's very, very cool.
Yeah. You said it's a single grape.
Yes.
So is that the same thing as in whiskeys? So
yes.
All right. So yeah.
Because a single malt whiskey is one batch.
Yes.
This is one grape.
That's what I thought about. Yeah.
Most wines are a combination of a few. That's how you get the different tastes and all. And somebody comes in and mixes different types of grapes. This is one grape.
Yeah. So I suspect that's the better way of doing it, to have a single grape, or maybe even more difficult, or
not necessarily.
Okay.
You're depending on that one grape to be everything. So it's a little bit more difficult in a way.
Yeah.
Because it'll be a real hit or miss.
Okay.
You can't mix your way out of it.
Yeah. So I wonder.
If anybody has questions, please fire the questions to me.
Do you actually read the chat at the moment? Do you see the chat in my channel, or?
No, I don't have that.
Yeah, if you have a browser there, in the Skype, it's actually twitch.tv/Jukipela. So it's JUGIPEE. I mean PELAA. Can you open the
Are you
the
able
chat?
Are you able to send me that in our chat?
Wait a minute, I will do it.
If you send me that, then
I will actually do it. Let me write on my second computer.
We have the technology to do that.
Yeah. Actually, there's a question before you read the chat. Is that how do you think the COVID like, for example, you filmed a movie in Italy, and it's a new movie. And now looking at how the dramatic series, how do they manage? The actors, everyone else, they cannot even be in the same room, I believe. Have you read about it, that they act in different, they don't even see anyone. So as an actor, how do you feel about this COVID situation? Because I'm a movie fan like yourself. I'm a huge fan. And what has happened during last year, we don't even have new movies. Blockbuster movies are failing because of no one seeing them in the movie theaters. What is happening now? Does this affect the industry in a way that we cannot recover? What is your opinion on this?
I think that we will eventually recover, but it's going to take a little time because people have been, now everybody's not going to agree with me. We already know that, but I have my own feelings about this and I'm not being afraid to say it.
Yeah.
I think the COVID thing was a real flu. It was not different than the normal flu, except it seemed to affect people's lungs a little more if you were susceptible to that. I'll try to make this quick so we don't go into
sure. Go on.
It did affect people's lungs, but it was a 99.99% survival of that. And the real virus was the media. The media made it into something much bigger than it should have been. They have a whole ulterior motive for that, which would take a long time to go into for us right here. I know a lot more than I probably should about all this, but it's when people say it's a farce, it's a fake and all that, what they mean is the publicity behind it is frickin' fake. It's all manufactured for a reason. And I'm hoping that people wake up and realize this. I think more and more people are waking up about it. We don't need to wear masks. Masks they don't do anything. There's absolutely zero proof they do anything. We've all been led to believe that we have to wear masks. No, we don't. They're not going to do anything. The mask will not keep a virus in or out. It will not protect you against that. All the mask protects you against is a little bit of spittle that might come out if somebody's talking. That's why a surgeon wears it when he's talking, so his spittle doesn't go into the wound that he's operating on. But it does not keep germs from coming in or out. That's proven, and there's no proof that a mask works. It's all been publicity. So,
okay,
let's go back to your movie question.
Yeah, that's something you might have an insight into. Yeah.
When I filmed my movie in Italy a few months ago, and it was in the middle of all this stuff that was going on. We had to take all of our actors and all of our crew to the hospital to be tested, which is also a farce because the tests that they're using are so overdone. It picks up remnants of stuff that isn't even COVID. It picks up little remnants of things that when they say you're COVID positive, you could have just had a cold. You could have just had another type of flu before. And it's all BS. It's all BS. People will go, but I know people that died. Okay, well, I'm sorry. We all know that happened in the flu season every year. More people died of flu than died of COVID in all the years before now. You notice the flu went away?
I'm sorry?
It magically went away. The flu went away.
Yeah.
Did you hear of the flu
yeah,
happening?
Yeah.
Did you hear of anything else happening? Did you hear of cancer happening? Did you hear of any other diseases happening?
True.
No. I know people who died in accidents and they were listed as COVID deaths. I know people whose family lost their father because of a heart attack.
Yeah.
And the hospital came to them and said, we will pay for your father's funeral if you let us put COVID as the cause of death on his death certificate.
True.
That's the way hospitals were paid an enormous amount of money to list COVID. So, okay, I'll back to your movie thing. We all had to test, and oh my God, my test. Everybody did the swab in the back of the throat, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't want to do that. I said no. No, excuse me. They did in the back of the nose. In the back of the nose. I said no. You're not sticking that thing all the way in the back of my nose. I can't do that.
Okay.
So I was going to do a saliva test. So these two people came down. You know what a hazmat suit is?
Yes, you have to wear all body.
The whole thing. Two people dressed up in full, like they're going through plutonium, came, and they came down. I thought I was being punked. I thought that there were cameras in the hospital, and I'm looking at my Italian friends going, okay, this is a joke, right?
Yeah.
Because they went, they're here for you, Ron. I went, no, this is a joke. They went, no, this is the way they're doing it. It was for real.
Yeah.
So they took a swab in my mouth and all that stuff. But it was silly. It was silly. And you're supposed to test every 2 days now if you do a movie. Hopefully that's going to change quickly
every
now.
2 days. Think about that.
Every 2 days, everybody would have to test. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Did they ever do that before for a flu? No. Did they ever do that before for anything? No. It's being done for another reason.
Yeah. Maybe in the adult industry.
In the which industry?
The adult industry. Maybe they have some sort of tests every now and then.
I don't know if they even have such stringent tests. I have no idea.
Even in adult industry, they have so many tests because of COVID.
Anyway, you notice as soon as we have Biden presumably in office, I'm going to say it that way, because this is a whole nother conversation otherwise.
You want to go into that? Maybe we shouldn't.
I don't think the people want to see all that stuff. I know too much. So as soon as Biden comes in, what happens to the COVID thing? Well, all the states start opening up. Things start lessening. Restaurants can open up now. COVID is not as effective as it was. Everything's going down now. Yeah, right. Bullshit.
So you still made a movie in Italy during this difficult times, and you kind of mentioned it was quite difficult.
It was difficult just because of that. Everybody's wearing their masks, except the actors.
Yeah.
The actors have to relate to each other in a different way. You can't film like that. So we made it work. Some people were very afraid. That's the thing. It makes people afraid. That's their point. They want people to be afraid. If you're not afraid of it, your natural immune system is much more effective than the frickin' mask. What the mask does, it keeps your CO2 and all your impurities breathing back into your lungs, and your lungs will become infected based on your own impurities that you're breathing back into your body. You need to take the mask off and breathe air. Don't wear a diaper over your face and think that's going to protect you against something. We need to breathe air, and your natural immunity will be much stronger. What the mask does is take down your immunity, as does going inside and staying there for large periods of time. Your immunity goes down. And what are you more susceptible to when your immunity goes down? More infection.
More viruses, yeah.
It happens, exactly. So get out, be with people. Even if you got a little bit of stuff with the COVID thing, you will have a 99.9 plus chance of just getting through it like a normal thing that you would in any other time. So I recommend people stop the bullshit and get out and realize and do some research. If you don't believe me, do some research and find out what's really going on. And I don't mean Google. Don't use Google. Sorry. Everything will be stilted. Go to other ways. I know that people are smart. People are smart now. They can search in other ways for information. It's not that hard to find. It's out there, and more people are talking in a more positive, affirmative way of giving information that's more true than what you get on the mainstream media. If anybody's still listening to mainstream media, what do you say? What do you say? Where do you want to go with this, Yuka?
I think because we are on Twitch and they're quite strict on their politics, we cannot go too much into the opinions of, because these topics are really dangerous. COVID and the U.S. president.
That's another point.
Why
should it be dangerous to talk? Why should it be dangerous to express opinions? It shouldn't be.
I know. But
everybody,
they even banned.
You're for. You're there to express opinions, to get people to talk to people, like me and everybody else, and everybody listening. I think they're smart enough to realize we need more communication, not less. But we won't take it any further if you don't want.
I think that's the best thing to do, because they are really strict about these topics. But if you want to read the chat, I put you the link that works. So if you want to read some questions, I think that would be. I think we have about 10 to 15 minutes if you want to keep it as in an hour interview. So if you want to read some questions from the chat. So if you open that, do you see it? And you can put a mute on to that stream on the left.
There's a little commercial on right now.
Yeah, you have to wait for the commercial.
That's interesting. The first message I got was a mature audience thing, and I had to click on.
Yeah, you have to click that. Yeah.
Interesting.
because we gamble. That's the reason.
Oh, that's the only reason.
Yeah. And maybe this is not kids stuff, so that's why.
Okay, I see us. I'm not seeing. Oh, there we go. There are the comments.
All right. So there are people now on the chat. They are seeing you live, and they can write on the chat, and you can choose whatever questions you would like to answer.
First one I saw is, do you know how a COVID vaccine works? Yes, unfortunately, I do. I do know, but I'm not going to get into it here because Yuka has said, let's keep this light. The Bay is still going. Yes, it is. The Bay is still going. Boy, they're going by fast. Ross the Boss. That people
Ross
combine
the Boss,
my first and last name, Ross the Boss. That's funny. Sup, Ridge? I love that. Sup, Ridge? That's very cute. Honored to have you here. It's an honor to be here, Tom. Thank you.
Truly. They ask about cryptocurrency. Do you know anything about that? That's a really hot topic.
I'm starting to learn about that. It may be a possible alternative to the money system that we're all using now. Like an alternative that we can all use, like credit cards or things like that. Is Joe Biden's solution for everything? No comment. Well, no, I will comment. No, he's not a solution for anything except catastrophe. Put chat in slow mode. It will be easier to read.
We put that. We put that. You don't have to do anything.
I can just. I don't know how.
You can scroll that chat with your mouse up.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And then you can go scroll back down if you want to see the newer messages.
I love the way they go. What's up, Moss?
Yeah.
What's up? Yeah. What do you think about Finland? They obviously joined a little later than that. Yeah. I love Finland. I haven't visited Finland in the last few years, and I miss it. Yeah. Of course, we haven't been able to travel in the last year, but what is your best memory of The Bold and the Beautiful? Everybody that worked on it. I miss my comrades in the Bold and the Beautiful. I don't miss the schedule of doing a show like that, but I really miss the people involved because they were wonderful, wonderful people. What future plans do you have? Yes, I do. Or do you? Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually going to be filming a Western coming up this year. During the summer, we're going to film a Western, an old-fashioned modern Western.
All right.
We've got a cool location, an old Western town in a place called Montana.
Yep.
And it's gonna be so cool. It's hard to describe, but it's gonna be very, very stylized, and that's why I'm gonna let my hair grow really long and kind of gnarly for this role because it's gonna be very, very cool. I'm doing it with a group of very excellent actors.
New Clint Eastwood.
In a way, yeah. I'll tell you a cute story from Bold and Beautiful. I'm sitting in my makeup chair. I'm sitting in my makeup chair one day, and we have this new makeup artist, young girl. And she's doing my makeup, and she goes, "You remind me of my dad." And I took that as a compliment. I went, "I hope that's good." He says, "Yeah, that's good." And I just let it go. And I said, "Who's your dad?" She goes, "Clint Eastwood."
Really?
Wait. Your dad is Clint Eastwood? Yeah. I'm one of his youngest daughters. And I went, "You're kidding, right? This is a joke." No, I'm the daughter of Clint. You remind me of my dad. It made me laugh. We become very good friends since then. And she's actually a producer. She's a movie producer as well.
Can I ask you a question before you read the chat? Do you have you met any Hollywood actors during your career?
Of course.
Can you mention, like, name drop someone like you said, Clint Eastwood? No.
Don't. I don't like name dropping.
Okay. So let me ask you some other question. We haven't talked about movies, but you're a movie fan. Can you say a couple of movies that you really love?
Oh, love so many.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say top 5 because that's stupid. Just name a few movies that you like.
I can't even remember most of them. There's an old movie with Katharine Hepburn and called Lion in Winter. Yeah. Lion in Winter. It's about Henry the Fourth, I believe. Yeah. And of Europe, and so it's Katharine Hepburn and Peter O'Toole.
Peter O'Toole, yeah.
Favorite movies.
Yeah.
But it's a specific sort of genre of stuff, but it's one of the best scripts I've ever seen. And the acting was amazing. God, I love so many movies. I love action movies. I love all kinds of things, you know. God, I don't even know what to pull up anymore. There's a movie called Raising Arizona.
Yeah. Yep.
With Coppola's cousin. What's his name? I don't know. You caught me off guard. I can't. It's like trying to remember
Nicolas
your favorite.
Cage.
Huh?
Nick Cage, Holly Hunter.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. So what about the new stuff? Because obviously I'm a little bit younger than you, and I do watch mainstream movies, the Marvel movies. Do you steer away from that sort of CGI stuff, or do you enjoy that?
I watch it when I can.
Okay.
When I can. Okay, I'll give you one little tidbit, and I don't want this to be like a name drop. But one of the dads at my kids' first school, we became very close in the school stuff, and we would go on school campings. We all go camping for like 4 days at a time. The whole school, believe it or not.
Yeah. Okay.
And one of the fathers was Robert Downey Jr. So Robert and I became close during all that, and we do a lot of stuff during those camping outings. And it was during a time that he was not so, before the movie stuff you're talking about.
Yeah.
He was more he was having some problems with all his stuff, getting through all his stuff. I would babysit his son, because my daughter and his son were in the same class, so we would take him and take. But Robert was amazing. He's an amazingly talented actor, and he's an amazingly talented musician.
Yeah,
I
didn't know.
Most people don't know that.
Yeah,
look up Robert Downey Jr. singing with Sting.
So he sings, really?
Oh yeah, he has a whole album that he played for me, he gave me, and he did some songs for me at his house. We did some stuff together.
Yeah,
and he's an amazing singer too.
I will link that in the chat. Yeah, I will link it.
Look up Robert Downey Jr. with Sting, and you'll be blown away.
Oh, okay. By the way, the chat, if you write !Spotify, that leads to Ronn's Spotify page. So
cool.
go check out also Ronn's music. And I think we have also, in YouTube you also will find a lot of stuff. So go check that out.
One of the things that I did during this whole lockdown this last year was I did a lot of music on my own.
Yeah.
In Belgium and Italy, where we were locked down. Yep. So I would just have to be by myself, recording and doing. I set up a little makeshift studio, and I recorded a lot of stuff, and released this little new album called Lockdown Lover. So that's what's on Spotify.
Yeah, Lockdown Lover. Go check it out.
If anybody's interested, go check it out. It's another side to the Ridge saga. People go, I thought he was just the actor on that show.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a musician before that, and now he's still a musician. So it's a cool look. I just like to do things that are creative. I want to open up the creative stuff, and that's what I've done since stopping with Bold and Beautiful has allowed me to open up a whole range of creative stuff, which is cool.
So, in a way, if you think about the actors in that kind of dramatic series, and it's their whole life, do you feel that those people are into it voluntarily, or do they kind of have to keep going? I can't maybe articulate what I'm asking, but you had a chance to get out, like you said. You maybe had a life-changing event, something else happened. Do you feel that these people, they feel the same as you? That if they weren't acting in those long-running 25, 35 years, they would be doing something else? Or do they really enjoy it? Have you ever discussed this topic with the actors, that they want to get out, but they don't know how to get out?
I think I can answer it best this way.
Yeah.
They don't maybe want to get out because everybody wants to work.
Sure.
And they're working actors. And to be a working actor in a genre like that for a long period of time is amazing.
Yeah.
What other genre can you keep
Just a moment, Ron. We have a connection issue here. If you hear me, wait a second. I think that... Chatti, kuuletteko te mua? Tää on varmaan Ronin päässä.
Acting that most actors
Ron,
maybe are.
I'm
Some
sorry
actors work.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry. You had a 30-second lag on your connection. Can you go back a minute? What you said, we didn't hear it. Yeah, sorry.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Most actors love what they're doing. They love doing that job. And to work on a continuous series is amazing because you get to do what you love all the time, right? All my friends really love what they're doing, and some of them wouldn't have a backup. If they weren't acting, they wouldn't have anything else to do. That is what they feel most passionate about. And if you work at what you're passionate about, what better thing in life to do, right? So no, I don't. For me, I had music to go to. I had the acting thing. Now I have the producing thing, and we're moving into doing other activities. For me, it's all creative. It's just a creative way that I'm going. So because I stopped Bold and Beautiful doesn't mean I hate it or don't do it anymore. I do it in a different way because we're producing this series called The Bay, and we have these other projects, the movies and the music and all. For me, it's just creative avenues. So I just want to be creative. I want to enjoy life. We all do. Do what you're passionate about. That's my biggest advice to people. Do what you're passionate about. Do what you would do for free if you were offered the chance. If you get paid for doing what you would do for free,
even better.
Even better. I imagine you're doing what you're doing right now because you do love it.
I wasn't in this business before. Like I was a salesperson, and in a working in an office 8 hours a day. Even though I loved that work also, but having the opportunity to be on stream, that's something I never imagined. And I started doing this as a side hobby, like you said, as a hobby, not as work.
There you go.
So,
hey, let me ask you, how many of the people watching us are actually Casino Euro followers? Are they following all that?
There are many people. Well, you can answer, chat, if you want. Are you gamblers?
If people know Casino Euro, and do they participate in all that and all?
Yes.
There are a lot of people,
I think so. Most people in the chat know. Yes.
I'm looking at the comments. Do you own any guns? Yes.
You do? You really?
I own several, yes. Oh, yeah.
Do you belong to NRA?
Yes, I do.
You do? All right.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Most all of my life is my adult life.
So I kind of get the feeling you're patriotic person.
I'm very patriotic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No question about it.
Do you have anything, do you want to open that a little bit? Why, like, you feel that? Because nowadays, many people aren't that patriotic.
I think people in every country need to be patriotic to their own country. And I think every country needs to be, to go back to being their own country. I do not believe in a one world government. I do not believe in a one world people. I believe we are all different and the same in many different ways. So I love going to Finland because it's Finland. I love going to Italy because it's naturally Italy. We have differences and similarities that we need to appreciate. Same with the United States. I'm very, very patriotic about my own country because of what we've had to go through. And I believe in the old patriotism of our country, of being founded on the Constitution that we try to live by. That's being challenged now, and that's what we're fighting against too, because they want to take that away. But I believe that every country needs to take their country back. I think this is very important that the world react like this. There's no reason that the Finnish people should become like everybody else, or that the Italians should become like everybody else, or that the Russians should become like everybody else. We all have separate things that we love about those countries. We need to keep that ethic. We need to keep that about ourselves. That's what makes us great. We can all get along. We can all interact and do all that stuff. I'm totally into getting along with everybody, but play fair, play nice. We don't need to kill each other. Wars are not good for anything. They don't solve anything. They've all been manufactured for different reasons by people who have ulterior motives, very evil people. We do not have to have wars. We can all get together. We can all live on this earth peacefully and have an amazing life. But we all have to stand up for what our countries represent. There you go.
Well said. Well said.
Somebody asked, do you have any pets except those ducks?
I think you still have a dog or dogs?
We have a dog. We have a little dog now named Prince who goes with us
really?
everywhere. He is so cool. He is so cool.
So he is named Prince, or she formally named Prince.
Yeah, he had a name called Spencer. He was called Spencer when we adopted him.
Okay.
And so he became the dog formerly known as Spencer.
And he's a musician too.
Well, he has sung a couple of times, I must say, yes.
Can you read a couple of chat questions? I will go fast to the toilet if you have a minute.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Ordinary world. That's funny. That's funny that you even bring that up. Okay, hold on. Let's go to a different. It's funny. Yuka has to pee. That's funny. Okay. This will surprise the hell out of him. Somebody just mentioned Ordinary World. I don't know why they even mentioned that. I turned on the lights, the TV, and the radio. Still I can't escape the ghost of you. What has happened to it all? Crazy, some would say. Wait, what has happened to it all? Crazy, some would say. Where is the life that I recognize? And I won't cry for yesterday. There's an ordinary world somehow I have to find. As I try to make my way to the ordinary world, I will learn to survive. Little tip.
Amazing. Wow. I came back and you were playing guitar and singing.
I know that would surprise you.
Wow. Thank you.
We're going to surprise Yuka.
Oh, that was a surprise. I was a little bit afraid to ask you sing and play something, but you did it even though I didn't ask. Oh man.
No, it's all good. It's I'm actually in my little I've made a little home studio here in my office. I used to have it in my garage, but now I moved it in here because it's a little more comfortable to have everything here. But yeah, it's all good.
Amazing.
Yuka, do you play music?
I do not. My brother is actually. I think he played. What's it called in English? Is it steel pans? You remember? That's sort of. Is it called steel pan? It's steel pan. You know, steel pan. It's like a drumming, and it's like this.
You mean the sort of Polynesians thing? The drums, the tin drums?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what they're called, but yeah.
I think it's called steel pans.
Steel
pans, yeah.
They call them steel drums.
Steel drum, yeah.
Steel drums or steel pads. And
Yeah.
and they're all tuned differently.
Yeah, and it's like a Caribbean sound, you know?
Caribbean, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think he played that and drums, and he's a little bit more musical than me. I love music, but I have never had time to learn to play anything like.
No.
Yeah.
Never.
No, I haven't. I like to talk. That's my
then you're in a good profession.
Yeah. And obviously, the streaming stuff. Please do.
I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling around the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. I said train keeps rolling on down to San Antonio.
Oh,
you know why I do that song? By Johnny Cash.
Tell me.
It was his birthday yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
It was his birthday yesterday. So
yeah, a legend.
It was his birthday yesterday.
Yeah. A legend for sure.
Absolutely.
Old Town Road.
I find that music is the great equalizer. Music is the universal language. Obviously, that's a cliche, but it's true. Music unifies people, and it gives people a feeling about their past because they remember things. You hear song and you go your past. So wonderful. Music is that vibration. It's that vibration that we should all live by. That's the artistic side of stuff that it's an intangible thing. Music is one of the most intangible of the arts. A painting, you can see it, you can touch it. You can't see music, really. You can't really touch it, but you feel it, right? So it's the most intangible of the arts, and it affects everybody in some way.
You're maybe saying that everyone should try to play something, try to learn an instrument or something like that.
I would recommend. I would totally encourage people to try and learn an instrument because it's just a satisfying thing. Get a guitar, get anything that you have an affinity for, but it's and it takes time to learn, obviously, but have fun doing it. Even if you just play one note on it, it's a vibration. Get into that vibration of things.
If, people are writing in Finnish that they have enjoyed the stream a lot and your visit here.
Oh, wonderful!
Yeah,
wonderful.
And I have one question here that we haven't talked about. What was Ronn's garage?
Ronn's garage was a talk show of mine.
So you have a talk,
where I'm doing basically what you're doing here.
Yeah.
And I interview people. I interview artists, musicians, and if they're a musician, then we've often have some music involved in it. And I started it out where the person would come to my house and we do a one-on-one like this. I would film everything. I'd put the sound on, and I'd edit it myself, and I'd put it out as Ronn's Garage. So what happens now? My lovely wife goes, "You need to be more up to date with stuff, streaming like Yuka's doing right now. You need to stream live." And I went, "But I can't edit it that way. It'll be just the way it is." She went, "That's the way things are now, right?"
Yeah.
So it took me a while to accept that, but we finally did that. And I will have somebody, either when I was in Europe, I was doing it, and they would be in the United States, they would be in Europe, they'd be wherever they were, and we'd do it just like you're doing, side by side.
Yeah.
And so people can go to that, Ronn's Garage.
Yeah,
Ronn
we found the link. Yeah. We shared that in. Yeah.
Just so people know, Ronn is with 2 N's. It's a little different spelling, but so you can go and see the ones I've done and, have a good look.
Yeah. What sort of topics do you discuss in that live stream?
I usually do things very related, like you're doing, to the person I'm talking to.
Yeah.
We talk about all their past, where they came from, how they're doing now, and all this stuff. It's very interesting. It's very interesting because you find out things you didn't know, which I'm sure people are finding this out now with me.
Yeah.
Sure. Just things you knew, things you thought you know about somebody. No, it's actually quite different, and there's a lot more history involved with people. There's always a story. There's always a story. And we have to appreciate that. You can never just write somebody off. The person you pass in the street and you don't even pay any attention to, they have a whole story that you'd probably be amazed by if you actually knew it. Pay more attention and be involved. Be more interested in people you meet, because all you have to do is ask a relevant question. That's what you do. You ask a relevant question, and you may get an answer where you go, wow, I had no idea that's where you came from. I have a lot of those friends, and I very much appreciate them. So everybody has a story. Everybody's gone through. All these people that are making comments, they have all been through an amazing amount of stuff. Don't take that for granted. I never do. I look at everybody the same. I shake everybody's hand the same. And I don't take anybody for granted. I don't discount anybody. The guy that collects my trash out here every Tuesday morning, sometimes I go out and I say thank you to him for doing what he does, because his job is as important as anybody else's in the world. And I thank him for doing that. Don't discount anybody. That's my advice. That's the way I live. I live that way. So there we go. Sounds like I'm proselytizing, doesn't it?
I think it's good to hear from someone like you saying these things, because a lot of people don't think about these things that
I value everybody. I know that everybody has a story, and I know that people go through stuff that we don't all know. Everybody has a struggle of some sort. Nobody gets around that. So appreciate other people's struggles, and hopefully they will recognize what it's taken to get where you are. Yeah. People might look at me and go, oh, he had this hit series, he did all this stuff, life in Hollywood must be so grand and all. Yeah, but there's lots of other things you don't know, because I'm not going to sit there and air my dirty laundry. I don't need to air my dirty laundry. Some people do. Some people like to go to that I'm a victim thing. I don't want to do that. I like to keep going and keep the movement going. So that's just me.
Can I ask you a quite controversial topic that is quite controversial? What do you think about the cancel culture that's going on especially with the famous people and the actors? They have the dirty laundry that is taken out now, and they're canceling their career. Do you have any opinions on that?
How do you mean they have their dirty laundry and they're canceling out?
The Me Too campaigns. The Me Too campaigns. That an actor during the 80s have done something inappropriate, and now it's coming out and people are accusing, and then it's, bye-bye acting career.
Oh, okay. So they have done something that is not great at all.
So I'm talking about the sexual accusations of actors. That's something that has happened really long time ago, and now it's coming out, and they're being cancelled. Ellen DeGeneres, okay, that was a different thing. Kevin Spacey, and the sort. And not all of those are maybe honest accusations. There might be people that are trying to benefit from that. Do you think that the media in this aspect bringing out these issues, and then people are just mass canceling, through social media, and they lose their jobs, they don't get any acting careers? What do you think about this digging out the old bones,
Let's first establish, did what they did hurt somebody? Did what they did, was it wrong? You have to find that out for sure. Before. Don't make false accusations about somebody. If something actually happened and it was horrendously hurtful to somebody. Now, when I say horrendously hurtful, I'm talking in the real sense, not just, oh, somebody touched me on my shoulder, on my leg.
Yeah.
No, something actually was horrendous. He didn't just put his arm around me and try to kiss me on the cheek. No, we're not talking that. We're talking something that was really hurtful to somebody.
Yeah.
Frickin' cancel them out.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And even if you did it years and years ago, fess up to it. Fess up to it. We all need to be responsible for our actions. And should we go around looking for and canceling people out? No, I don't believe in that. But I believe in being honest about what has happened and what is happening. There's a lot of stuff that's happening that's so horrible. Most people are going to be shocked when they find out what is happening and who has done that.
Yeah.
To be faithful to you, saying, let's not get too heavy into it. I won't go into detail, but the world is about to find out things about people they have maybe respected that's going to shock them. It's going to shock them beyond. There's a term called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is where your mind cannot really comprehend what you just heard. And so you discount it. You can't accept it because it doesn't fit in with the way you think that person is or was or should be. But I think people are going to be shocked by the things that are about to be revealed. I hope to be one of those people who are there to help you get through it, because I know too much. I am not one of those people, and I've never lived like that, and I never will. But I know people that have lived like that, and I know that that information is coming out, and I personally want it to come out. I think that answers your question most effectively. I want that information to come out because I want to know who people really are. Let's find out who people really are. The bullshit that you see in a lot of celebrities, the face they put on and all, is usually just that, a face they put on and a persona they put on. What you don't know is what they're doing behind the scenes. And I personally am not a fan, never will be, never have been, and I can't wait for this stuff to come out. Now, do I think we need to accuse everybody? Do I think we need to go on a witch hunt to find every little thing? No.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think we're going over with that. But I think the truth eventually comes out. That's what I'm most interested in, is the truth. Not hearsay, not bullshit stuff. We hear a lot of things about people sometimes, and it's not right because the people accusing them have other motives too. We have to be very careful. You have to be very careful with that because it's too easy in your cancel culture, as you said, to just say something about somebody and cancel them out. That's not fair. Let's find out if it's real. Let's find out if it actually happened. The proof and the truth hopefully will come to the surface, and we will be able to make judgments about people, anybody, whoever it is, politicians, actors, anybody that in your life. Find out the truth before you go off the charts with accusing them of stuff. That's my feeling, and I try to live by that. But most definitely, I want people to be responsible for their actions. You can listen to their words, but what are their actions? Yeah. Does that answer you?
Well, that's more of an answer. More deep than I thought, because I see that you are thinking these things a lot. So that's something I didn't know about you, obviously. How could I? Yeah. People are asking a little bit more lighter questions. What car do you drive?
When I do drive, which is as seldom as possible, we have a Toyota Highlander.
All right. Is it a pickup 4x4?
It's a SUV.
SUV,
sort of,
yeah.
I also have an Indian motorcycle. That's my splurge.
Wait a minute. We have a subject we haven't gone into. Motorcycles.
Yes.
All right. Tell me, because we have a lot of people into cars and motorcycles. Yes.
Oh, I've been a Harley Davidson rider since before I was old enough to ride a motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
But I've had a Harley most of my life, and I a few years ago sold my Harley and got an Indian, which is amazing. It's a big bike. It's a very huge bike because I want my wife to be comfortable in the back.
Okay.
So, and you know who else rides with us on the Harley, on the Indian?
No.
Prince.
Ah, obviously, yeah.
He loves riding. He loves it. He sticks his head out and the wind in his face and all. He loves it. We don't put a helmet on him.
Yeah.
Can't put a helmet.
Is an Indian like that sort? I'm not into motorcycles. I don't know. Is that like you cruise with it long distances? Is that sort of a bike? You have lots of travel. You have like luggage space there and whatever. Is that sort of a
it's that sort of bike. It's here, I will give you a little. Let's see if we can do this.
Yes, that's exactly what I was talking about. So that's a big bike.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's very, very. It's got all the saddlebags and all the stuff, and it's very smooth.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you can see it there. Cool. But that's my little splurge. But we drive a Toyota. I'm not into cars per se.
Okay.
They're just a thing to get around, and so.
Have you done the route? Is it called Route 66 throughout the?
I've been on Route 66.
Route
I've
66,
been on that.
Yeah.
We have done that. It's we have a lot of those. I was actually going to get rid of all my motorcycles. I was going to get rid of all of them when I was living in Hollywood, because the roads in Hollywood have these big potholes and all this stuff. It's not really, and people drive crazy in Hollywood.
Yeah.
People are nuts in Hollywood when they drive. It's crazy. So when I moved out of Hollywood into more of a farm country, we have more farmland around us. It's a little more room to move. And all of a sudden I realized that riding the motorcycle out here would be awesome. So I kept one of the bikes, and there we go. How you doing, Yuka?
I'm doing really good. I'm really glad that we kind of get into like discussing, just chatting, and I got all the the necessary questions out of the way, because obviously I need to ask you questions about your past and whatever. And I'm a little bit surprised that we are into these topics, because this is exactly what I love to do in my streams. And obviously I was a little bit nervous. Can we get to know you a little bit more, and can we chat about stuff what we are talking about now? So I'm really happy. This has become more than I expected, and we've been talking 1.5 hours already. And we were talking about, yeah, really.
You have to know, and I hope that everybody watching this knows that I was raised in Hollywood, but I'm not that Hollywood kid. I'm not that Hollywood personality stuff. I'm not that guy in a TV show that. Actually, I'm going to tell you something honest. I really hate talking about myself. I dislike it. I really dislike it. I don't like. I don't need to talk about myself. It's not a necessary thing for me. I'm only doing it now because you're here with me now. People are asking questions and all. Sure. But this is the last thing that I want to do. It's kind of like, it's a little like pulling teeth with me, even though it doesn't seem like it, because I've learned with the acting stuff to be more outgoing. But I was a really shy kid. I was a painfully shy kid before all this stuff. I think that's why the music, being on stage with the music, allowed me to kind of open up and do stuff that I wouldn't normally do. And the acting provided that same sort of thing. That's probably why I went into acting as well, just to get out of that shy shell that I was in. But I'm not one of those people that just needs to go on and on about me. Yeah, we've been talking about me for an hour and a half, but we've been talking about subjects rather than, okay, just personally me. Yeah. So that's just my little 2 cents. I'm not the typical Hollywood actor. And I know a lot of typical Hollywood actors. Trust me, I do. And I shy away from them mostly. I don't care for the person that's just so self-involved that they're not looking at the world. What we talked about today is involving world stuff. That's what I'm most interested in. I think we need to all be aware of the stuff in the world. So to just be in your own little world and it's all about me, and only what I do and I do that. No. Look outside yourself. That's why I say everybody has a story. Look in the stories of other people and you will see more interest than most anything else.
True. Do you feel that Americans in general, are they perhaps the type you described, talk about in too much of themselves?
No, I think we have a lot of those people. Yes, just like every country. Sure. I don't think America is different than any other country in that way. You have people who are interested in the world as an energy, the world as a functioning thing that we all live in. Yeah. And you have people that are only interested in themselves and their own thing, what they're going to get out of. They're always in it for themselves. What am I going to get out of it? How much are you going to pay me? What are you going to do? It's always me. True. I don't think that's a United States thing or a Finland thing or an Italian thing or a Russian thing. I think we have all things within all of our countries, and it's just a personal thing. I have personally eliminated most of the bullshit friends in my life. I hate to say it, but I've done that because I just don't want to be around that energy. I want to be around positive affirmation. I want to be around people who have a love for life, who have a love for other people, who have an understanding of other people. I will accept everybody, no matter what echelon you're in or what your preferences or how you see yourself. If you're a trans person, a gay person, I don't care. I don't care. I will accept you as long as you're not hurting other people. I draw the line at that. When you hurt other people, that's a line we've crossed. If nobody else is being hurt by what you do and how you are and all, we're cool. I'm a golden rule. You know, you live by the golden rule. The do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. I live by that, and shake everybody's hand the same way. I don't care. I'm accepting of everybody as long as you're not hurting somebody else. I do not tolerate the hurting of other people.
I kind of feel the same. That I'm.
That's where my love of guns come, because I've gotten very, very skilled with that, and not because I want to kill people. I don't want to kill anybody. I love it as a skill, but it goes with my sense of crimes against people, crimes against humanity. I do not accept. I don't accept it one little bit. I don't think it's necessary, and if people do crimes against humanity in any way, and this is a subject we can't get into here, otherwise we go off into another tangent.
That's the next podcast we're gonna make.
Next podcast, yeah.
I'm gonna be a visitor in Ronn's garage.
Okay. I do not accept crimes against humanity in any way, and we're about to find out more information about all that. It's all coming out.
There is one subject that I'm a little bit interested in, is the weapons or the guns. So even though you open this subject as much as you want, but you have ARs, submachine guns, rifles, shotguns. What is your main weapon for practicing shooting?
For me, it's handguns mostly.
Okay.
Very sophisticated handguns that, for me, they're just tools. They're just tools. I have no inclination to kill anybody. I don't want to kill anybody. I have trained myself. I've gone through 3 levels of SWAT training. Do you know what SWAT is?
Obviously. Special Weapons and Tactics.
Yes. I've gone through several trainings for that because it interests me. It's a skill. It's just a skill. I don't even hunt. I don't even need to. Yeah. I don't want to kill animals or anybody. If I had to survive, to feed my family, I could, but I don't need to, fortunately. It's just a skill. I have a lot of handguns, a lot of pistols and revolvers, and shotguns too. I would do shotgun competitions, and I was actually the leader of the NRA team with shotguns. With this team, we would do a competition and a charity to raise money for charity every year. It's fun. It's fun. It's a skill that I really like. And I don't think of it, I'm just learning this to kill people and all. No, it's not about that. It's about learning a skill that, like anything else, you learn to build a house or you learn to drive a car in a certain way. It's a skill. So for me, that's what it is. But I'm very, very knowledgeable to protect myself and other people. I know how to do that as well as a side shoot of just using this tool. That's all.
Sure. One person asked about the pistols or the handguns. When you said sophisticated, do you mean are they revolvers or do they have attachments, or what do you mean about sophisticated hand weapons?
I have a couple of guns that are fast how do I describe this? Fast shooters.
Yeah.
They're quick draw fast shooters,
Okay.
meaning they're very, very sensitive. I had a friend who was there's a group called the Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
There's a group called the Special Forces, and there's a group way up here that don't even have a name. They don't have a name for a reason, because nobody wants them to know who they are. And they're very, very trained with a lot of different weapons. So my friend who did that, I got a couple of guns from him based on that. And they're very specialized. They're very, very sensitive, very finely made, very finely altered. And
all right.
they have scopes and all this stuff.
Oh, okay. So they do have attachments. So
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Because as a matter of fact, we play a lot of video games, and many of these video games are shooters, and you have a couple of different games. One of them is really, how would you say, chat, like it's a simulator in a way. So
Okay.
it's really, really realistic. And those weapons in that game, they do have attachments. They do have different options you can make, and they all affect the ergonomics, the recoil, and whatever.
Absolutely.
So even though I haven't been into shooting or guns, but in video games, we all know in our chats how they work and how they affect the experience. So you're kind of the OG, the original gangster who knows this stuff, and we play video games. But you would be surprised how many youngsters actually know about weapons and guns, but haven't shoot them because of the video games.
I did part of my testing, part of my training was getting in my own car way back then.
Yeah.
And we'd have to go drive through a course and be shooting out the windows of our own car as we're driving. I found bullet shells, the little remnants of bullet shells everywhere in my car for about a year. About a year later, I was still discovering them because it was just part of the training. But it was fun. It was fun. I liked it.
So have you ever had the possibility to insert something what Ronn Moss is to the character of Ridge Forrester? Or was it always really scripted? Like you said, you couldn't have fun. They cut that out. Have you inserted secretly something of your real personality, which is, I think, totally different? Or are they? Or actually, that question, answer that also. Does Ridge have something that Ronn has? And vice versa?
I would say that during the 25 years, I would go in and out of being more like myself and much less like myself.
Okay.
Depending on the storyline and what was going on. All in all, it was not as much like me, but little things I would add. For instance, calling Brooke, her character's name was Brooke, but I just called her Logan. One time I said, "Hey, Logan, come here, Logan."
True, you said Logan.
And the writers saw that and they went, "We like that." So they started writing it. And they would take things that we would do on camera and go, "I like that." So they started writing for that. That's the way it happened. It was just that's the thing a guy would do. He'd call a guy by his last name, or a girl, "Come here, Logan," and it stuck. So little things like that, yes, I added them. And you'd have to, because we're constantly trying to come up with new ways to do things, right? And you'd have to add something. If it wasn't interesting to me, I knew it was not going to be interesting for our audience. So after 25 years, we're doing 260 scripts a year. 260 shows.
That's incredible amount.
It's an incredible amount of material. In a movie, you have an hour and a half script, maybe once a year if you're a good actor, if you're a popular actor, right? Not a good actor, a popular actor.
Yeah.
One movie a year or so.
Yeah.
260 shows every year. So you're constantly having to come up with new stuff. So I would put stuff in when I could. If I could put something, I just went, okay, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm in a love-making scene with Brooke, and and I tell the director starts coming to me. He's worked with us for years. He goes, Ron, I'm going to let you do this. I didn't even write anything out. You just go ahead and do what you want to do. So I go, okay, just film this, and this. So I just tell him, well, one time I just was kissing her. Very nice, copacetic, very nice. And then I said, keep the camera on her. I just moved out of frame. I just moved down. And you just watch her face. And the people in the booth, they're going, oh my God, I don't know if we can show this. I don't know if we can. You're not showing anything but her reaction, right?
Yeah, true.
But it worked. It's like you have to be creative in a different way because we have a lot of, you can't show things, it's TV. So you come up with different things, and I did that several times. We did scenes with me and Taylor where I push her up against a wall and I rip the top off, and it's very passionate, very done for real. But the way it was filmed was wonderful. And it had a big impact, so much so that CBS came and went, we can't do that anymore. You guys got to stop with that. That's too much. And that happened to be a show that Susan Flannery, who plays my mom, she directed that show. And we had fun with it. But CBS sent a memo down going, no, can't do any more of those. That's it's too much. It's too much for our audience. Made us laugh, but there you go.
Awesome. So you have had some fun on the show for sure.
Absolutely, we've had fun. Absolutely, it was somebody. I'm watching the comment. Do you like fishing? I don't know much about fishing. I have gone fishing, but I have not. I'm not doing. Have you ever been in a sauna or a sauna, as you say in Finland?
Yes, sauna. Yeah.
Sauna. Yes, absolutely. I love them. We did the sauna scenes many times on Bold and Beautiful. God, whole feature of gun modifying. Yes. We went shooting with Yuka last summer. Tomzer.
Yeah, true. We were on a gun range. Yeah. And we have a bunch of weapons there. Small caliber weapons, obviously. But we have handguns, we have SMGs, and it was fun. We actually in Finland, most of young men that turn 18 or is it 19, we have a compulsory service. We have to go to the army for
how long?
Is it 6 months, the shortest period, and 12 months the longest if you go for a reserve officer training or a little bit higher level. So it's 6 or 12, yeah.
Did you like the training?
Yeah, I actually went once and I quit because I didn't like it. And then after 2 years, I thought that maybe I do like it, and I went one more time, and then was the whole way, the 12 months. So, and went for reserves officer training, and I actually applied for a job even, but I didn't get it at that point. So that's one example of having the choice, the freedom of choice. You necessarily don't want to do something at that particular time, but after a later time, if you're giving the option, you go all the way. So I think I love that because I have good memories of the service.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yuka, I want to ask you about this question. This is a wonderful question.
Sure.
Let me read it.
Yeah.
Mr. Moss, it's normal in Finland to see parents naked, for example, in the sauna.
Yep.
Can you explain why it is so abnormal in the USA?
That's a good question.
Is this true?
Yes.
Is it true?
We go to sauna with our parents, especially when we're kids. Kids go to sauna with their parents, even though we're brothers and sisters. Moms and dads.
Define kids.
Like,
how?
I believe when you hit your teenage, maybe you want to go to sauna alone. But from where you're really young to 12, 13 years, you go to sauna with everyone. And after that, we go to sauna with anybody. Like not necessarily mixed with women and men. That's not unheard of. That's okay also. But usually the men go first, and the women go first, and then the men go second. But after, I think lots of people go to sauna with their kids. Yeah, and we're totally naked. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have any comment about that except wow. Okay.
Yeah.
We in the U.S. everybody always wears a bathing trunks and all that when you go, especially if you're with other people, like other than your wife or husband and all that. Most people at any resort, if you went to a resort, you would all come with swimming trunks and all. And that's But going naked with your family, I would probably draw the line much earlier than what you're saying, the teenage years or before the teens. It's quite a bit down from that.
Yeah.
The kids, and even then, I don't know. Even then, it's a strange thing.
Yeah. Well, I think you're correct.
I don't have a big feeling against it. I just think that it's more proper to kind of keep your kids.
I think it goes like this: that the teenagers himself or herself says that I'm gonna go alone. So we go to sauna with our family, and at some point they say, "Can I go alone?" and whatever. So, and with their friends or with the same sex, like with the guys go with their dads, the girls goes with their moms. But it's totally normal. And if you would be invited to a sauna in Finland, and you have, like, you're gonna see bare butts and all there, and it's nobody minds. You have a beer after the sauna, and you go swim to the lake, and it's totally normal. Yeah. And if someone brings a towel, everyone is going like, "What are you doing?"
Really?
Throw away that towel. Yeah. You have to run. And the girls are watching from the porch. And that's why you would be an awesome guest at any cabin party, because they're gonna watch and see until Ridge comes out from the sauna.
Funny, you guys are funny. That's funny. That's something I didn't know.
I'm wonder why didn't Ismo tell you about this?
Ismo, no, we never talked about that.
Really?
Did you see that section of me and Ismo?
Really? Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
I enjoyed. We were all improvising. That was
Really?
total
No.
improvisation.
Okay. Yeah.
Completely improvised. Me and Ismo. I enjoyed it because he just said, "This is what we want to do. Just go for it." So I just improvised, and we just. I like those.
You know about a little bit of the nudity, or of not nudity, people being without clothes. Let's say that. Yeah. In every Finnish movie, there is a section where a Finnish man is naked. I don't know why is that, but comes a section where a Finnish man comes raving out of his house, and he's naked, and that's part of our culture. Yeah.
I just learned something about you guys I didn't know.
So if you're gonna make a movie in Finland, be prepared to be
no interest
in your natural.
I think there are private things to keep to myself and to my loved ones. And
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
Just kidding. Yeah, but for some reason, that is a thing. I don't know. Can the chat like explain what is going on? Maybe it's something that I'm not afraid. I'm not ashamed. Maybe that's the reason.
This comment says the sauna is a non-sexual neutral place.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah. Even though you're with women, with mixed sauna, it's called mixed sauna. So obviously people watch, but who cares?
Yuka, I have loved this. We actually went about 2 hours.
It's 2 hours. It's more than enough. It's I'm so surprised we had such a good talk.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
And you were great. You let me ramble on a couple of times. I tried not to do it too much. I held myself back, believe it or not, from continuing on with a lot of stuff because there's a lot of information to get out. But I hope we can do this again.
I hope so too. And can you say greetings to Finnish people or something like that? And one, I think I have one. You have to do this. Can you say hello, Yuka's mom, or something like that to my mom? She needs to hear this. Say something to my mom. She's been watching you for 30 years.
Okay, I'll say hello to Yuka's mom. What is her name?
Her name is Erja.
Erja?
Yeah.
Erja. Hello, Erja, Yuka's mom from Ronn Moss. I send you all love and blessings. I don't know if you're watching now, but I send also love and blessings to everybody in Finland. And I hope that I can come and do some music there. That would be very cool. I think it's a good vehicle, creative vehicle to do some things in Finland. But I'm hoping that everything calms down, that all the travel opens up, that we're able to all go back to being without masks and all the bullshit stuff that's been going on. And we can be people again. We can be humans interacting as humans the way we were meant to be. So that's my wish for everybody in Finland.
Here.
I say hello to my friend Henry Allen, my friend. He may be on there with us now, so hopefully we'll see you soon. And I would love to come and do something. Let's plan it.
Let's plan it. Thank you so much for visiting our stream and for the talks. You're an awesome guy. Nice to know you. Much. I hope we're gonna talk later on at any point. Maybe live, maybe on a podcast, whatever. Let's see.
Maybe I have you on Ronn's Garage.
That's something I'd love to participate in.
Okay, Yuka.
Thank you. So,
everybody, thank you so much for staying with us for this 2 hours.
I think this is great.
Time. More than we anticipated.
Yes,
but thank you guys for hanging in there.
Wow, thank you. Have a nice day in Los Angeles, and we're gonna continue drinking some rum. Maybe you're gonna continue drinking some vodka. Next time we're gonna get hammered together. It's gonna be crazy. All right, thank you.
Not in a sauna though.
Not in a sauna. Okay,
let's do it separate from
at least the camera is off at that point. All right, thank you. Right. Cheers. Have a nice day. Bye.
Take care, you guys.
Take care.